What's going on, everybody? Godzilla Options here. How you doing on this afternoon of February 2nd? Got some trades for you for February 3rd. Things that you need to know going into February 3rd. The end of February 2nd. So the end of today, Apple, Google, and Amazon reported earnings. And the market really didn't like Google's or Amazon's, and it doesn't look like it's going to like Apple's too much either as of right now. When I'm making this video, Apple hasn't actually reported their earnings yet, but we'll see where that goes. I can't imagine it's going to be a ton different than Google or Amazon. But notwithstanding, we do have some setups going into tomorrow. And depending on how the market truly does react tomorrow morning to the earnings that I just talked about, I would be looking at reversals if the market doesn't react well. And if the market does react well and we end up having everything moving up in after hours and pre-market, then I'd be looking at the upside plays here that we have. So with that being said, let's get into these setups. So to start with, we have the failed 2-up. So these are what I would be looking at if the market doesn't react favorably to earnings overall. So the failed 2-ups, we'd be looking for the 2 down, so a 2-2 reversal to the downside. AMC, D-King, S-Bucks, X, MGM, C, and V. So the financials didn't do all that great today, nor did things sitting in the Dow, so like consumer, commodities, stuff like that. So you could be looking at those to the downside. We have our 3-1 setups with DIA. So the Dow ended up on an inside day, basically indecision. We have our 2-1s. These are another inside day with QCOM, XLF, and Walmart. XLF has that hammer, so that would be an interesting play tomorrow. If tech doesn't have good earnings, I could see people starting to run back to finance to try to find a safe haven to invest their money. We have our PMG to the upside here, meaning XLE energy has been moving down for quite some time. So we are looking for a fast sweeping upside play, which again, bad tech earnings for the big three could easily be the catalyst there. Our 1-2 up rev strats, where the next day we'd be looking at a 2 down. So we had the day of consolidation and then a pop-up, and now was that pop-up a fake out, a bull trap, and we moved to the back down side there. We have our 2 downs with CVS and Oxy. CVS has just been going down for the longest time. I've been talking about it on pretty much every one of these videos, I feel like. So the stock market is definitely been moving CVS downwards. Healthcare is apparently not the place to be right now. And then we have our 2-up continuations. Today just was pretty crazy, right? Like a lot of expectations kind of came into the morning when we thought that, honestly, the market makers were probably just driving price up to only drive it back down to buy calls a lot cheaper, which they actually did. Were able to do today. They took the price up on everything pretty high, and then there was a massive drop pretty much right after lunch, and then a small recovery. So these 2-ups are kind of artificial. I'd be looking at, again, how the market reacts to earnings of the big three in the morning, see if we get a 2-2 reversal. So we had the 2-up today, and then tomorrow would be the 2 down potential. So be on the lookout there. A lot of them. SPY, IWM's on here, QQQ. So a lot of tech, some banks, some commodities like, let's see. Yeah, commodities. Yeah, pretty much everything's on this list. So as far as 2-up goes, so be on the lookout and react accordingly to how the market sets up after hours and in pre-market. And happy trading.